Hello, I'm BOODFM and welcome to episode 10 of my Denton Villa series. Thank you as always for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Why don't you spend 1 second of your day making my day by smashing that like button? I really would appreciate it. And if you are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Make sure you check out the whole series and hopefully you'll enjoy it enough and stick with the series. Right, today, no live com. We're going to have a look at which players the 3 winners of the Regent Competition have a look of. We're going to have a look at some news. We have brought a player in. We've got rid of some players. We'll have a look at the squad I've decided to go with for this new campaign in Around North. Again, random bits of news. I'll just have a look at different things and try and catch you up on everything that's happened this summer. I'm excited. I'm excited going forward for the series and with this team. I think it's going to become something special. So, shall we get into it? Well, if you watched the start of episode 9, you'll have seen the draw for the Regent Competition. 3 people won it. Eddie, Richard and Kane. Eddie came first, and Eddie decided to pick a central midfielder. I don't think he's the best player in the youth intake. I think Eddie's gone with someone who plays a similar position to what he played. Eddie Oliveira. I think that's how you say it. I've been looking on YouTube, Eddie. He's got a lot of promise. He's only 16, English, even though Eddie's not English, but you know. But I think he'll be a good player, and he's played in a few games over the summer. We'll have a look at the pre-season later. And he's done okay. He's a kid. He's got a lot to work on, but hopefully he'll be with the club a long time. Next up was Richard. He came second, and he decided to go with the Welsh left winger. A young player with a lot of prospects, so I think Richard's going to become a legend. Easy. Great potential, decent ability now. He's only 16. He's done okay in the summer, in the pre-season friendlies, but you know, he can play out wide in the centre. He's going to can cover up front. So again, hope he has a great career here at the Villa. Last but not least was Kane. He came third in the competition, and he decided to go with the striker. No one picked Frenchie, who's one of the best players as well. He's the keeper, so the young keeper's still called Frenchie. I like that though. But yeah, Kane Parker is now one of our top prospects. Probably the best current ability at the moment, decent potential, good finisher, done alright. It's good 3 goals in pre-season, averaged about a 7. Not bad for a 16-year-old, so I'm pretty impressed with him. He's a rich guy, isn't he? £5 a week. Wowzers. £5 a week. He's only 16, he only needs it for sweets. Let's start getting through the random news of the summer, and we'll start off with me. I qualified, or passed my Continental B licence, which is great. It's still boring. I still think it's absolutely boring doing this. I can now go for my A licence. So the first thing I did was ask. And to be fair to the club and the chairman, Mick Hucknall, he said yes straight away, which is brilliant. So I'm going for my A licence. This one takes a lot longer though. This takes 12 months. So I'm not going to have a full impact in training for 12 months. So hopefully it don't affect us too much this season. But I just want to get through this. I want to get this boring piece of the game out of the way. Now last year we did really well selling tickets. We were like getting 2,000 fans, 1 to 2,000 fans a game. We only had 500 season ticket holders. And it looks like we're aiming for that again this year. I was kind of hoping that that had increased because, you know, we've got, with the standing and the seats, we've got 10,000 people we can get into the Shirley Hill Stadium. So each year I want to see that increase. At the minute it's not. At the minute we haven't hit 500, so I'm hoping we'll get better and better as we go through the leagues and get more fans. But we need to be successful, don't we? I think this year's going to be a little bit tougher. So I'm always looking to improve the club in every way I can. Myself, for some reason, I can do my coaching badges. Quite a lot of my staff, I get the option for it, but when I ask the board, they say no. Or they say, I don't think they'll be interested, so we're not going to bother. Which is very annoying. I asked to upgrade the training facilities, they said no. I asked to upgrade the youth facilities, and they said no. But one thing Mick did say, I think he likes Dave, you see, that he would improve the data analysis facilities. So they've been improved, but it only costs 24 grand. It's not a lot of money to improve. So hopefully Dave and his little minion can do some better work for us this season. On to club bonuses, and yeah, Cole is the managing director / co-owner with Mick Hucknall. Can't have 2 chairmen. I think it's well known that he's worth about 35 million. but he's from Denton and he's a tight sod, which means he doesn't like putting his hands in his pocket and pulling money out. So tough call. I have gone for the full bonuses. I want to try and encourage my players to be as successful as possible this season in anything we do. If we can get out of this league first try, I won't argue with that. And according to the bookies, we've got a good chance of that. Now, obviously, we've got Regent squad, and so does Central. And I think the computer gives you a pretty good one, a pretty good core anyway. We've had to add some pieces, and we've had a good youth intake. I think Central have as well. We'll have a look at them maybe in the next episode in a bit of detail, because there's some stuff I want to show you about Manchester Central. But again, we've both been made the favourites. They're just ahead of us. We're in evens, I think, but they're just ahead of us. Same as last season. And there's some good clubs in this league, like Stockport County, FC United. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be great, hopefully more challenging. But if the game's looked at my squad and their squad and thinks we've got the better squads, then so be it. We'll have to see what happens, or you never know, do you? And we've had the fixtures for the season, and the second game of the season is Manchester Central at home. Normally, I always kick off a season with whatever the first game is. We'll just get that first game out of the way, whoever it is. Because it's a season opener. But I think I'm going to break tradition, a long-standing tradition of mine, and I'll play the first game of the season off camera. And we'll come back for the next episode, episode 11, and we'll have a live com against Manchester Central. Why not? Because, like I said, there's a few things I want to show you about Manchester Central, just to compare them with us. Because, again, they're our arch rival. Looks like we're going to be battling out for the title. So I'm super excited. So hopefully you're super excited for that live com in the next episode. Now, we have signed one player. His contract was coming to an end. He was on my shortlist. He was the only one I thought that was good enough. But he was still just with Hednesford. Is that how you say it? So we've signed him on a free, but we still had to pay £7 grand compensation. So that's not a transfer fee. I thought I was signing him on a free. So we have signed him. He's a left winger. Now, we've got quite a few good players. We've got Richard Havenhand. He's a good young left winger. But it's just Javier, who's Spanish. He's 17. He's got a lot of potential. He's not a bad player. And if we have a look at him, we'll see why. I mean, look at his physicals. I mean, this lad's just knocking about. From Hednesford. Cracking regen, really. So, yeah, I couldn't really turn him down. I thought it adds a bit more depth to the squad. He's the only player I've brought in, and I don't plan on bringing anyone else in. I scouted and scouted. You know I did. I showed you in a few episodes ago. I've got a big shortlist. I just don't fancy any of them. I don't think anything that's available on a free was going to improve us. I'd rather just stick with what we've got and improve our youth and improve our own players, but I couldn't turn down Javier. Now this is Ryan. Look at him, he's a right handsome fella. Very jealous of his hair. I like his hair a lot. Now he's our chief sports scientist, right? So he helps out with the boys, he's keeping them fit. He kind of liaises with my wife, who is the head physio. But he's been doing it on his own. Well, finally the board let me have a new staff member, and it was a sports scientist. So we brought in Ross Montgomery. So yeah, Ryan's got his own team now. And the whole team's starting to expand a bit. What I like as well is that all the staff I've been able to bring in so far to add to my original staff, a regen. So I like that. I want to go down that route of regen staff that maybe we can improve our own staff, and a regen squad. Yeah, that's what I want to happen. Now we're going to have a look at the squad in a bit more detail, and I have given the entire staff new contracts. We'll see that in a minute. And most of the players that I can, apart from one. And that is Josh Stevens, our superstar young striker. He's got 2 years left in his deal, and I think he's getting a bit too big for his boots. And I think he wants to go up a level. No one's come in for him though. But I think he thinks we're maybe too small for him now. And I don't like that kind of an attitude. So luckily we've brought in Kane. I've also actually... Boody. I said I've only signed one player. I haven't. I found another guy on a complete free, a young striker. We'll have a look at him later. So, you know, we've got options. Dicko's a great player as well. Dicko signed a contract. Everyone's signed contracts. They've all got big pay rises. But at the minute, Josh is having none of it. First up, though, quick look at the staff. You'll see us all there. Mick and Cole at the top, followed by me. And if you look there now, everyone pretty much, the original lot are all signed on now till 2024. And I've given the maximum contracts I can give him. So they're on decent wages now. 425 a week and £300 odd a week, so they're on half decent wage. Again, none of them, I can't improve any of the coaches for some reason. They won't let me. The guys I've brought in are on shorter deals. I can't get anything more than that. I don't know if it's because they're part-time deals, and the original boys are all Well, no, everyone's on part-time, sorry, but yeah, the original ones was I can do bigger contracts. The guys I've brought in, I can. Obviously, I'm till 2021 as well, so I've only got 2 years. I've still got to keep proving myself. Hopefully, we can win some more silverware. And this is him. Apologies. Now, I said I didn't want any dark faces, but he came up for a free. I totally forgot about him, to be fair. I mean, he's been all right. He's had a decent pre-season. I didn't really think anything of it. Did I really need a striker? I don't know. But 2-star current ability, decent potential. He's come from Bristol City, so I don't know if he's a real player, Marcus Day, and he hasn't just got his face in the face pack. Because if he was a regen, he'd have a regen face, wouldn't he? So I'm not too sure. But decent player, great squad player. We'll probably spend most of the season in under 23s though. Well then, here's the squad. You're not going to be able to see some of the names because of my head, my strikers, but trust me, they're there. We'll have a look at them in a minute. It's big-ish, but I want a few extra players. Like I said, some of them are going to be flirting in between this team and then the 23s if they're not playing in the first team. I think I've got a good idea of who my first team is going to be because we've had a huge pre-season. I'll have a look at that again in a second. But I'm happy. This squad has got some potential. Now this is the squad arranged by ability, and look up there, Dicko and Stevens. Wowzers, them two have got something about them, haven't they? You've got Javier, he's third. Not a bad player from Hednesford on a freebie, so proper chuff with that. Connor Atkinson, who I like a lot, and he's now trained as a proper central midfielder as well, which is going to be a benefit to us this season. Fordy wants out. We're going to try and keep hold of him for the rest of the year though. Maybe get rid of Fordy next summer. Dane Hughes, right back, he's really stepped up now. John Brown at left back, so is he. Abu Dhabi, obviously he's a real player. He's not going anywhere. He's only 20. Good player. I mean, look at the potential of some of these guys. These 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, we've got something about us, but until we get on that pitch and start playing, we don't know what we are. Let's have a look at some of my key players. And the first one I'm going to look at is the forklift truck driver, Phil Dixon, and he has really kicked on a gear here. Look at his ability. We're really going to struggle keeping hold of him. But he's signed till 2022, he's got 3 years, there's no release clauses in his deal or nothing. He's on £650 a week, 18 years old, had an outstanding pre-season, 12 goals, awesome player. So fingers crossed he can hit the ground running this season. Next up, I'll show you is Connor, 17-year-old midfielder. He was a defensive midfielder, but I trained him this last year, and he's now natural in the middle, which is brilliant because that's where he plays. I think you look at him instantly and you don't go, wow. But I think he's great. I think he's really, really good. He had a great pre-season as well. Everyone's played a lot of games pre-season. And we could look at them all day, but it'd take forever. I'm just going to look at a defender, and it's Dane Hughes. He pushed Wardy out at right back towards the end of last year. And I think I'm going to play him. He's got green arrows everywhere, so he's on the up. I like his tackling to improve, but he's 17. His pre-season wasn't the best, but he's going to start as a starting right back this year. The likes of Wardy though, and 90, you might be thinking there's a couple of names missing that I've got familiar with, and that's because they've gone. We've got rid of loads of them. I also brought in a player called Michael Collins. There's me going, I only bought one player. I've not bought him. I signed him on a free. That's £7 grand's a compensation fee. Michael Collins ain't too bad. Quick Scooby-Dooby at Michael. He's alright. Again, backup, I think we needed just a little bit more. In defence, he will be an under-23 player, most probably. But on the way out, we've sold quite a few. We've made £66,000. We are rich. Rich beyond my wildest dreams. Anyway, Billericay have bought Brown G, Charlie Gale, and Chris Marquez. Chris Marquez was the goalkeeper who didn't get a work permit. He got one for them, didn't he? Stuart Knight's gone to Wrexham. Andy Ward's gone to Northampton. Mon Bombo, whoever he is, and Charlie Cawley, whatever they call, they've all gone. Some of them, Knight, obviously, Brown and Wardy. They were probably in the first team last year. A few of the others were floating about in the 23s and so on. They're all old regens. So I just thought, let's start promoting the youth, play the young players, and get rid of the old guard. Now the bookies have us down as potential winners of this division. But my board, luckily, only wants to get in the playoffs, which look mental. Looks like if you win the league, you go up. And then 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th going to a playoff. I can't lie, that'd be pretty exciting. So they just want us to get into that, and I think that's realistic. I'm not going to lie. FA Cup reached the first round. That's what we did last year, so there's no reason we can't do it again this year. And the FA Trophy, an FA Trophy this year, they want us to reach the third round. I like the FA Trophy because you have more chance of going further in it, don't you? So I'm super excited. We've got lots of football to play. Well, I said at the end of the last episode I was going to have a huge pre-season, and we had a huge pre-season. We played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. I mean, 10 games, all at home. Just thought try and make as much money as we can. Home gate receipts. We played Main Road in the first game, beat them 4-2. And what I did was, I think we played a few teams nearby, a few teams that a bit better than us, and a few teams that are similar to us, and then one team that was supposed to be a lot better than us. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, we played Main Road, beat them 4-2. Ashton United, local derby. I'm looking forward to playing them at some point. It was a great game, and we got a good crowd. 1,500 people came to that. We beat them 3-2. Then we played Brighouse. My wife's was from not far from there, Huddersfield. Thrashed them 6-2. We played Bath, who I thought were going to be a really good side. It was a good game. Battered them 4-0. Battered them. And we played Boston United again, who I thought were going to be really good. And we scored 10 goals. 5 goals from Dicko. Then we played Blythe Spartans. I love that team. I love that logo. They beat us 2-1. A kind of B team that though, I think. Then we had Gateshead came to town. We beat them 3-0. Newport County beat them 3-1. FC Halifax I thought we would beat, but we didn't. We got beat 3-2. Good game though. Enjoyed that one. And then I thought, let's play someone who's massive. Now one of my coaches is Unflushable. Won't like this because he's a Dundee United fan. I thought this was. I wanted one big game against someone who was supposed to be a larger foreign team to really test us. Not only did we get the best crowd of pre-season, but we put on a show. 7-2. Now I will say again, there's no freaking under 23 schedule, and this is a sports interactive league. I've not played. I can't remember. Do you not get one at this level? Maybe you don't. So I've had to set up a load of friendlies. That's all I can set up so far. And we'll have to just wait and see. It says Stadium in Shirley Hill. I thought I'd set it up so they played at the reserve stadium, the training ground. Obviously I forgot to do that. Right then, onto the dynamics. Now I ain't got any captains. I've lost my captain, and at the minute we have no team leaders. Some people are a bit miffed with that. I'm looking for people to step up, and I'm surprised no one has yet. Now, Fordy is a highly influential player. He's not happy we've got no team leaders. And then after that, you've got Halliwell, Dixon, Hanson. I'd love someone like Dicko to step it up. Now, there's a new thing I didn't know about. I've only just noticed it. But it's not worked for me yet, but it's a nice little touch. Now, I'm trying to run my best players, and they've said no. I'm just on Stephen Edge as an example. But you can go on now, the development, and you get an option to send them on a leadership course. I think that's brilliant. So hopefully eventually we can get a good captain. One of the lads will rise up that triangle to the top of the pyramid, and we'll be able to make him even better as a leader. That is one of the little touches that I really love. What I also love is our social group. This is hugely important. Javier, the new guy, the new boys are straight in there. I like it a lot. Collins is down on his own. Someone invite Collins out for a pint. You tight bastards. But the fact is that our entire squad now are in a social group. They're all friends. They all like each other. They'll all fight for each other. I think it helped me last game in FM18. I think it's important. Some people don't like this part, don't care about it. I do. I think having a group like that will win us trophies. Now tactics, I'm sticking with it. I've not tweaked it. I've not changed it. I don't feel like we need to until we start maybe getting to a level and we're a bit more mid-table. I'll maybe look into it in a bit more depth. I kind of just cobbled it together when I first got the game, and it worked for United, and it's working here. So anything can be improved. It's not the best thing in the world, I know that, but I don't mind it. I like it. I like how it plays. We score a lot of goals. It's quite exciting to watch the boys play sometimes, and I just want to stick to it and really get used to it. Well, then there you go. That is the end of episode 10. As always, thanks for watching. I know there's no live com, so if you like live com, I do apologise, but I just wanted to get through the summer, go through some of the news, and have a look what we've been up to. I'd love to know down below What do you think? Do you think the bookies are right? We've got a good chance of going straight up. What do you think of the squad? I know you've not seen them all, but it's the same squad from last year, apart from the new youth intake players and Javier, a couple of other players really, but they're improving. And what I'm going to do going forward this season is maybe look at, instead of like looking at one player each episode, we'll like quickly look at maybe 3 of them, just so you get to see what they like and kind of maybe see what improvements they're making. If you want to look at a specific player, let me know down below. Let me know what you think of the squad. Let me know what you think of the club, the series, our prospects. Do you think we can win the FA Trophy? Can we get past the first round in the FA Cup? Are we going to win the derbies against Manchester Central? I don't know. I can't wait to find out. In the next episode, we're playing Manchester Central and looking at their squad in a bit more detail. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. As always, thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.